Hello everyone, I'm gonna let this be my first video. I've been wanting to do a video for a long time, but I've always been kind of shy, and I never thought I would do this, but here I am, and I'm about to just talk about some things that I've come to discover recently, spiritually. And when people talk about spirituality, it's important to not attach it with religion. A lot of people instantly start to think of religion, and I'm not saying all people do, but I know I did back then, but not anymore, because I know that they're two different things, very different. Religion is basically institutionalized. It's like a system. It's limitation. It's man-made. There are truths within every religion, and they all share a common truth, and that's what that's known as the esoteric truth. Or the inner truth. Yeah, they have hints of truth here and there, but you can't just say, "Oh, I'm part of this religion," and deny everything else. That does not work. That's foolish, and if it makes you happy, then be my guest. But if you're seeking truth and you want to really take control of your life, and you want to live the way we were meant to live here on this planet, or this physical realm, then it's important to leave behind these old ideas. And we have so many old ideas. Everything is just programming. It's been force-fed down our throats ever since we were born. Think about it. When you first open your eyes, you were surrounded by your parents, and they told you what was considered good and what was considered bad, and you watched TV, you learned a language, and speaking of language, language is a limitation itself. We weren't ever, well, I won't say we weren't designed to use language, but look at the animals. I'll just get to the point. Emotion is the language of the universe. It is the language of God, or source energy. Everything is energy. This whole reality is energy. There's a famous equation everybody knows, E equals mc2. Well, that basically tells you that everything that we perceive, matter and light, mass and energy, is just energy. It's not just equal to energy. Well, you should ask, why is it equal to or equivalent to? It's because it is energy, and it's true. Think about it. Emotions. When you're around someone with a bad vibe, and they just that goes to you. They're sending it out to you. They're emitting it, and you're receiving it on a conscious level. You see, consciousness itself is an energy. That's why you have emotions. You feel happy, you feel sad. Everything is a wavelength. Not a wavelength, it's a wave. Light is a wave. Colors, all these colors, that's a different, they're all waves. Sound, everything is a wave. If you look at a particle, matter, solid matter, that's also a wave. That's also energy. That's what, if you've heard of the wave-particle duality, or something like that, a particle has characteristics of a wave and a particle. Well, that also explains it. Quantum physics right now is starting to understand what ancient civilizations have understood for a very long time. And science right now, it's kind of silly, because science, as we know it currently, only deals with what we can see and touch. It only deals with the five senses, and you really have to go beyond the five senses, because speaking of emotions, source energy, it has an infinite number of ways to manifest itself. It has an infinite number of forms, and our five senses are just five different ways to feel or perceive these emotions. Like the color purple emits a certain type of emotion. The color red emits a certain type of emotion. You don't know how to describe it, but you feel it. That's why you like the way a color looks, or you don't like the way a color looks. Same way with paintings and music. You can't describe it. Like, it just gives you a feeling. It's pure emotion. And sound, light, all these senses, taste, sex, these are all things that these are just different ways to perceive emotion. So this reality is really just energy, and it's conscious emotional energy. And just like a dream, it's just like a dream. Everything is mental. This whole reality is mental. Everything is mental energy. And there are certain laws to these energies that hermeticists have been known for. Hermetic philosophy. If you look at, this is a good example, the Kabbalion. Just give you the 7 basic principles. There is the principle of mentalism. It's saying that all is mind, all is mental, like I said. And the principle of correspondence, which is the well-known saying. And if you don't know this, then I highly recommend you look into it and at least think for yourself what you think it means. I mean, this whole thing about enlightenment and awakening, it really has to do with people waking up on their own. I mean, people like me, we're just trying to share the good news, we're just trying to, help people through their tough times, because knowing these things will really help you. And yeah, just want to help people. So, but then in the end, it still depends on them. Like, I can only guide people to certain directions, but in the end, it depends on themselves. So yeah, just think for yourself what it might mean. Think about the stars. Hint for you, if you're seeking truth, nature is the best way. I mean, just go out there and just think. Just relax and take your mind away from all your worries, all the day-to-day garbage that you think about all the time. I mean, it's not garbage, but it's just time to connect with nature. And that's when you can really start to think. Like, think of things like, do plants have consciousness? Are they aware? Where do they come from? How do they know? I mean, what is it that encodes the DNA to make it grow into a certain shape, color, characteristic, or whatever? It'll get you to start thinking, and when you do, the first step is to start questioning. Once you start questioning, you'll start thinking. Once you start thinking, that's where most people get stuck, because if you just rely on your lower consciousness, the programming that you grew up with, the knowledge that you learned from school, the preconceived ideas, you need to get rid of all of that. You need to think outside of the box. And that is the key. And that's where entheogens and psychedelics can play a key role, because nature itself has provided us with these special plants for a reason. I mean, think about it. Like I said, some people just can't think outside the box. They say, "Oh, you're crazy. They can't see it, they can't touch it, so they dismiss it as fantasy." But like uh, like Einstein said, creativity is also a form of intelligence, and I can't agree more. I mean, if you haven't heard about the left brain and the right brain, look into it, because right now, all of society, all that we do, so all the institutions, the schools, the governments, we rely on I forgot left. I think left brain. Yeah, left brain, logic based or fear based system, and that's what has gotten us into all these troubles. I mean, we need to get past that and start exploring our creative side. So once you start thinking outside of the box, these answers will just come to you. I mean, they'll come to you and you will just know. And I'm talking about 100% knowing. I mean, there's not single bit of doubt in this kind of knowing that I'm talking about. You know for sure what you know. You know it to be real, and that's a good thing. I used to be a Christian, and I thought I believed in God. I thought I knew everything. I mean, I didn't think I knew everything, but I thought I knew God pretty well through Christianity. But I was relying on a man-made system. I was relying on what others had told me. I still had a little bit of doubt. Yeah, I didn't believe completely. And, I mean, if you do believe completely, um, I don't know what to say about that, but you need to think outside of the box. So, where was I? I was talking about as above, so below. Oh yeah, think for yourself. And there are other laws in here, but I'll go over them next time, I guess. Yeah, this is a pretty long video already, so I'm gonna stop right here.